for the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no channel for champions and chain no fear. Yep, the champ is here, switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat and tears and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 I know it's lonely at the top, but that's not by speculation. But the position that I got, I climb too high to fall, way too hard to drop. Stop clocks on the speed bag. Every yell under pressure, no jet lag. This is greater than trophies and saluted flags. Titles of pain, the cost is paid. Yay, I carried the cross I made. Dealt with the dealer, baby, the hand was played. New level, next stage. Learn to lead it to legend. Now tell me what's my next stage, yay. I said the champ is here, switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat and tears and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 For the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no channel for champions and chain no fear. Yep, the champ is here, switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat and tears and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 And today, we break through.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm sitting here jamming. I don't know about y'all. Can y'all hear that music playing? I'll tell you what, I'm over here jamming. Y'all, can y'all hear that music? Can y'all hear that music? I'm gonna see if I can hear that music running over here with y'all because I was sitting over here jamming. I'd had another minute before I came on here. There you go. That's why y'all saw me when it was going on the countdown. I said, let me add one more minute so I can hear that music just a little bit longer. You know, I thought that was so fresh. So fresh. You know how it is. All right. Y'all enjoying that? See, here's what you should be doing. You should be at home. You should be having a good time. You should be thankful for everything you got in your life. You should be thankful for the opportunity to get better. You should be thankful that you have the opportunity for us to come together, for every single person to put their energies into this moment. If you put your energy into this moment, that's when you get a chance to maximize the moment. So as I fade this music down, and we take it off, now we go in. Welcome to J Talks, man. You know what? I know a lot of people around their families. I want to thank everybody for taking this time. You know, I was thinking whether or not I was going to do this show today, but I decided, you know what? If people are sitting around with their families, what greater subject to talk about than being thankful? You know, one of the key components to confidence is appreciation. You know, if you're appreciative, you'll be amazed what that energy puts out. That energy is unbelievable. I'm telling you. The energy of appreciation, the energy of gratitude, the energy of thankfulness, all of them pretty much equal the same thing. That energy is literally life-changing when it comes to you mastering confidence. Are you thankful? Are you appreciative? Are you paying attention to all the little things? You know, so many times we spend so much time thinking about things getting better in the future. I hear so many people talking about, well, one day my ship's going to come in. Well, guess what? More than likely, the ship is not coming in. You got to build it. And that's where the thankfulness comes from. That's where the appreciation comes from. It comes from, I'm going to be focused in this moment right here, right now. And then by me doing so, those energy builders will build my ship. What energy builders? The energy of appreciation, the energy of gratitude, the energy of thankfulness. So I want you to grab that key point today because I think it's critical. It's so critical for me. You know, I've been going through one of the toughest challenges in my life. Do y'all hear me? Now, I'm telling you, life in itself is tough. Life in itself is hard. I mean, you imagine if you just sit still, you don't move, you'll end up dying. So without movement, and here's what happens with movement, you got to adapt and overcome with that movement. So I can remember being little, having so much chaos in my life with my family, my parents, you know, always bickering, going back and forth. They ended up divorcing when I was around 8 or 9. And that created a bunch of turmoil inside. And then all of a sudden I'm bouncing around from house to house. I find myself around 16 years of age sleeping on my friend's couch. I finished my high school years. Y'all listen to this. I finished my high school years sleeping on my friend's couch. Can y'all imagine that? So how was my life then? What was I thinking inside? I never will forget. I'm going to tell you, I mean, we go in on J Talks, we go in because people want to know, well, how do you get your confidence? Well, number one, you got to adapt and overcome all this crazy stuff that goes on in life. Just like I'm doing right now. So we're in this together, or I don't want to be in it. How many of y'all want to be in this together? I don't want to be in it unless we're in this together. Because I can use these principles all by myself. I've been doing it for years. I'm 52 years of age. And from as long as I can remember, I've been utilizing these principles. I had to go back and even look at these principles. But I can remember this story. I'm living with my dad. I just turned 16 years of age. I'm living with my dad. I'm in Florida. My dad had got remarried. My stepmother was crazy. She was bat crazy. How many of y'all know people that are bat crazy? They're just not crazy. They're like bat crazy and all kind of other adjectives crazy, right? And it was turmoil. I went from one level of turmoil to another level of turmoil. Here I am. I'm in Florida. I was born in Kentucky. I moved to Florida. And my dad and his wife, my stepmother, was going at it all the time. And I'm thinking, my goodness, I just left this. I just went through this. I just went through this crazy. I just went through this challenge. I just went through this crazy nightmare of years in my life. I went through this. I'm in it still. And I could not, I'm telling y'all got to pick this up. Y'all got to understand. Because I know, and if you're commenting, how many of y'all been through some craziness? And by the way, why don't you share this on your wall, or at least share it and tag some of your friends that you believe they've been through some craziness. You believe they've been through some life nonsense. Because I think it's nonsense for a kid to be in that environment. So I can remember being there, and all of a sudden, I come home one day. I was playing sports. I come home from practice. My dad and my wife, his wife, my dad and his wife, They're in there. I could kind of hear them going back and forth in the kitchen. I walk in the door. They both come around the corner, and they scream at me because my dad used to raise these big tame rabbits. And my job, my chore, was to make sure to feed the rabbits every single day. That was my one core chore, and to make sure that my bed was made up. Well, I got a little rebellious because I got tired of all the nonsense. How many of y'all know some rebellious people, right? Kids are going to be rebellious. So I started slacking on feeding these rabbits. And I never, this is crazy. I walk in the house, and I was going to go feed the rabbits, but I got home later than I should have probably got home. And my dad and my stepmother comes around the corner. And next thing you know, they're screaming at me about these rabbits. Can y'all believe they're screaming about these rabbits? Why do you get those rabbits fed? What's going on with you? And your room's not made up right, and this and that like that. So my dad said a few things. The next thing I know, my stepmother starts screaming, you don't appreciate nothing, Dad. And she runs at me. She gets about good 5 feet away from me, and I'm sitting there looking at her going, what am I going to do in this situation? I'm just standing there. My dad grabs her, catches her, and she's screaming, going, you're not appreciative, you this, you that. She's just going at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at my dad. And I said, Dad, you know you better not let her go. And my dad starts screaming, boy, you be quiet, you be respectful. And I never will forget. I look over at the TV to the left of me, and I don't know what made me do this. Guys, y'all talking about this is 1985, 86-ish, like 1986, 85, 86, 85, 1985 actually. I look over, and I see the cordless phone setting on the television. Now, mind you, there's no cell phones back then. I know that might be surprising to y'all, but there's no cell phones. And I'm glad to see you guys are sharing this. Way to go. People need to hear stuff like this. That's why I'm going to be wide open so y'all can understand that we all can make it. Watch this. I look over at this cordless phone, no cell phone, and I'm looking at my dad, and I see this woman, my stepmother, screaming at me. So something clicked in my head. Guess what clicked? I said, I'm out of here. I'm done doing this. And I grabbed this cordless phone, and I said, I'm out of here. And I run out the door as if this cordless phone is going to be, going to go down the block. My dad pushes his wife aside and starts running after me. Now here I am running down the street with this cordless phone in my hand. I am getting it too, right? I was like very, very extraordinarily fast. And my dad's running behind me. And he's like, boy, you stop, you better get. And I started laughing, y'all. I was cracking up. I said, Dad, you know you can't catch me. I'm screaming this while I'm running. I'm just, Dad, you know you can't catch me. And I look out in the distance, and there's some woods. So about 300 or 400 yards away from my house, there's some woods. And I'm like, I just got to get to those woods. And my dad ran out of breath after about 50 yards. He wasn't in no good shape at that time anyway. And he's still screaming at me, and I just run. So my dad's walking now, and I finally get to the woods, and I get down deep into the woods, and I never will forget, I got this cordless phone in my hand. And I go to hit the button to dial, so I'm going to call my best friend. So I hit it, and of course, there's no tone because I'm hundreds of yards away from the house. Wouldn't it have been good if I had a cell phone then? Now I'm in the middle of these dark woods. And my dad's now outside the edge of the woods screaming at me, get back here, where are you? And I just crouched down about next to this tree, and I'm looking at him. And then I look behind me, and it's way off in the distance, I can see some lights. I'm like, I gotta get to the other side of these woods, come out over by the highway, walk down the highway, and I'll get to a store. So I walk down the highway, I get to the store, and I had to borrow, y'all are gonna remember this, there was a pay phone. And I remember people's walking in and out, and I said, excuse me. Oh, by the way, I threw that cordless phone in the woods. I was so mad that it didn't work. I said, can't use you. And now I'm down at the store, and I'm saying, excuse me, can you loan me a quarter? Can I borrow a quarter? Can you give me a quarter? And I asked 3 or 4 people, and finally someone said, all right, here's a quarter. Took the quarter, put it in in the payphone, called my best friend. My best friend, I said, hey, I need you to come and get me. He said, what's going on? I said, I can't stay with my parents no more. Do you have a place? Can I sleep on your couch? He's like, yeah, I'll come and get you. Get him. He comes and gets me. We go to the house. His parents are like, what's going on? I explain to them the craziness I'm going through with my dad. I come out of this craziness with my mom and my parents together. And you know what? I'm not throwing any craziness on them. I do want to deal with that because some people are going to be like, is he bashing his parents? No, I'm telling y'all that hardly anybody in this world has their stuff together because they're a result of their environment, and it's perpetual. And I gotta let you know, I love my parents. I love my mother. I love my dad. But it was chaos. My friend picks me up. I explained to his parents. I says, if there's any way I could just stay here, I'd appreciate it. And I'll go cut grass. I'll go work construction. I'll do whatever. I'll chip in. And they agreed to let me stay there as long as I chipped in. The next day when my dad was at work, me and my best friend went over his pickup truck. I got my clothes and stuff, left my dad a message, said I'm gone, I'm never coming back. Man, oh man. How do I go from that moment to being able to still make it in his life? From 16 years old, now I'm 52, I'm still going. I'm still smiling. Y'all caught me here at the beginning of this program, of this show, dancing, laughing, having a great time. It doesn't mean things are not going tough in my life. It doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. It means I'm choosing how I deal with these challenges through gratitude. What am I learning? What did I learn from then? I learned what not to do with my son. How important is that for him? See, I stopped. What was the benefit of me learning from that moment? I stopped the crazy cycle. And now I create an environment of love, of respect, and of confidence. Does that story help anybody? Will y'all let me know? Will y'all give me some feedback if that story helps anybody? If that story touched you? If that story rang a chord? Maybe it made you think about some times in your life? And here you are. Now, let me tell you what's happening. If you're watching this, it's Jay Talks, right? If you're watching this, that means you're still here. You're still going. We are still here. We're still going. That's our miracle. That's our confidence right there that we have proven that because I got chills running up and down my arms right now. We have proven that because we're still here, we can make it. And all we got to do is get the tools, get the equipment together to be able to elevate above our problems, above our challenges, and to live a maximized moment life. Type that in. Live a maximized moment life. Look at these comments coming in all over the place. I love y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some questions that's come in. We're still working on the radio show. We are jamming. You're going to see we got so many things happening, so much content. We got products and tools that are coming out now that's going to help people from all over the world get better. And you need to learn from somebody who's been through things and knows how to adapt and overcome. You need to be and learn from somebody that when a challenge comes, they can meet the challenge and let's go. And laugh and smile. Man, I tell you what, to tell you the truth, I'm having some of the greatest times of my life during the toughest time of my life right now. I'm appreciative of that. I'm thankful. Let's go to this question. Somebody asked, oh, had a little fluffy floating around here. I'm like, oh, what's that? What can I do daily to ensure I maintain my confidence? I gave you the first tip right there. Be appreciative. Wake up every morning and say, I'm thankful for today. I'm appreciative for today. And then plug in to tools. You're going to need equipment. Okay, do you eat every day? Do you eat some food? Do you drink, right? Do you bathe every day? Hopefully. Do you brush your teeth every day? Yes. So these are things you're doing every day. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you brush your teeth? Why do you take a shower or take a bath? Why do you do that? Why is it that you eat? So I want you to answer that question. Why do you eat? Why do you drink? Can y'all answer the questions for me? I'm waiting for some feedback. I'm going over to the chat board and I'm waiting to see. Okay? Okay, you guys are doing great. I'm starting to see it come in now. I'm starting to see it come in. So why do we do these things? Because see, if we don't eat, we're going to not live. If look at that. Keep yourself healthy. I love that. Your body needs it to live. Listen, if you don't eat, if you don't drink, you're not going to live. But have you ever thought of this? Are you feeding your confidence? Like, what type of nutrition are you giving your confidence? So when you ask, what can I do daily to ensure I maintain confidence? You have to actually think of this to consciously feed your confidence. You got to give it the right nutrition. Now, if you give your confidence turmoil, low self-esteem, worry, that's a big one. Let me ask you a question. How many of you worry? Be raw, be honest. This is Jay Talks. I don't want to be talking to myself. This is Jay talking with you. Jay talks to who? You. How many of you worry? How many of you have had problems with worrying? It is an absolute assassin to confidence, worry. Worry is literally death. It's fatal to confidence. It's as if you pick up cyanide and you put cyanide in your orange juice or in your water or in your coffee and you drink it. If you worry, it's the same as putting cyanide, putting rat poison in your drink. If you do that, you're going to get extremely sick and probably die. That's what's happening with your confidence. If you worry, you've been poisoning your confidence. You see, if I was worrying, you think when I was sleeping on my friend's couch, all the things that was going through my mind, and see, I've had to look back and go, Jay, how did you make it? How did you make it? Well, I kept feeding myself the right thing. So that little move that I made in my life, I believe it saved my life. Because what I did was I got myself in an environment that was feeding me uplifting things. I know that's crazy for y'all. I tell you what, I know that might sound nuts, that I had to get away from my parents at the time to put myself in an environment. And what's happening for most people, they're not getting away from the people that's feeding them the poison. Man, is it getting hot in here? Imagine that, not getting away from the people that's feeding you the poison. So can you imagine if you're sitting there in the kitchen, all of a sudden somebody's making you something to drink and they pick up a bottle of cyanide and they start putting it in the drink and you're looking right at them. You see them putting the cyanide. They grab a little box of rat poison and shake some of that in your cereal, in your oatmeal. You're looking at it. Put that. Now they bring it over to the table. They put it down in front of you. Now I want you to imagine you saw them put the cyanide and the rat poison in your food and in your drink, and they set it in front of you and go, enjoy. And you be crazy enough to pick up a spoon or a fork and start eating and pick up the cup and start drinking. How many of you would agree that that's madness? That's crazy. It's all get out. That's nuts. That would be crazy. Okay. It's no different than you allowing people around you to feed you negativity. It's going to be a big one. Because a lot of people are hanging out with a lot of family today and going to be hanging out with them. There's a lot of, man, I haven't seen all these family in all this time. And all of a sudden you're going to be like, man, who's really being extremely positive? I want you to pay attention to your family. I want y'all this year more than any other year. I want you to pay attention to, is your family feeding you positivity, uplifting you, making you feel great, making you feel more confident? Or are they tearing you down? Now, I'm not telling you to do what I did. I'm just telling you what I did. And I'm telling you not to do what I did, but I'm telling you I'm here because I did what I did. I believe that with everything in my heart. Next question. And don't be crazy enough to keep eating the cyanide and the rat poison. Come on now, stop that. What can I do to make my kids more confident? Be the best example in the world to them? There's nothing greater you can do for your kids than be the best example. You be the best example, you live the example, and then guess what? You will influence them because the way you are is the way you're going to speak to them. Is the way you're going to talk to them, is the way you're going to encourage them. Be the best example. That's what you can do. How can I tell if my confidence has improved? Are you happier? They go together. You know, truth and mercy come together and kiss. When you're confident, you get more happy. Mwah! Look at that big old slobs. You busting some big slobs when you got some serious confidence. You're going to notice that you're seriously happy and mwah, you busting some slobs. That's called some confidence slobs. Don't y'all steal my words. What is the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence? Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Confidence, self-confidence is the expression of how you feel about yourself. So that's the difference. Self-esteem is how do I feel about myself? Self-confidence is, well, how do I express that? If I got high self-esteem, I'm going to express high self-confidence. If I got low self-esteem, I'm going to express low self-confidence. Pretty simple. Put them together. High self-esteem, high self-confidence. There they go again, busting some slobs. Truth and mercy. High self-esteem, high confidence, mwah, happiness. It's that simple. These are some great questions. How many of y'all enjoy when we go through these questions? Wait till we get the radio show portion of this just plugged into this, and we get to hear y'all's voices on here. That's going to be cool. Now, I got some big time. I just posted earlier, I got a big time announcement, major announcement. We've been working so hard to have this happen. So hard to make this happen, but it's happened. I just released a book on Amazon. Let's check it out. Let's pull up that book. I just released a new book. It is available now on Amazon. It's called 365 Quotes to Make You Better. This may be the most simplest, yet the most powerful book you might ever read outside of the scriptures. This book, you can't get more simpler. And I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's off the charts because it's how I coach myself every day. I write down these quotes every day. So I get up, I got to self-motivate myself by being appreciative. And then all of a sudden I start working, going through these challenges. And as I'm going through it, I will say stuff to myself. I will self-coach myself. I'm telling you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I will self-coach myself. These 52 years, I'm here through absolute wonderful self-coaching. I've observed, I got myself in environments around people that were positive, that were uplifting. And then as I hit challenges, I learned to adapt and overcome. Now, what got me in that spot is because I invested in myself, into learning more and working more on myself from people that were having successful lives, for people that were having the things that I wanted. Now, this thing, and the only thing I'm talking about, people say, what's your product? My number one product is and will always be confidence. That's my number one product. That's what I'm going to sell. That's what I'm going to share. That's what I'm going to be passionate about. I'm going to be passionate about this number one product. So I put this book together. Let's bring it up again. 365 quotes to make you better. Now, what I love about this book is there's no page that you will turn to and not be more inspired, more uplifted. Every page is filled with a powerhouse quote that you can use that day to take your life to the next level. All you got to do is get that book. And I'm saying with everything in my body, in my being, that I believe that book and the energy I put behind the book. See, this is what happens. It's not just the book. You can buy books all over the place. But that energy that I put in that book, that love, that passion, these 52 years of adapting and overcoming, and to release that book in the middle of a storm. And you can know, because you're going to go through challenges and tough times, and we're all going to have ups and downs, but you can know I got my hands on a book that's full of the energy, not just the quote, not just the words, but it's full of the energy that I need, that I can use as a tool. So all these questions here lead us back to, you got to get your hands on tools. If I give you a tool, you got to think about, where's that energy? Where's that intent? What's behind that tool? So everybody that's an author, they have an energy. Me being an author, and I'm about to pump out several books. So this is one of multiple books that you will see coming out. I got another one coming out after this one. It's going to be Richter scale, but I'm telling you, you're going to need this one to help take you to the next step for the next one. And the next one's going to be off the charts. But this one here is so powerful. And what I love about this book is it also has a key to it. It has a key to unlock some things. Something very significant is attached to this book that I'm about, and this is me being thankful, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to pour out some thankfulness, and what I'm about to say to you next, I guarantee that it's going to have massive potential to have you go into 2021 being in the best possible mental and emotional confident state of your life. That's what we're gearing up for. That's what we're pushing towards. People say 2020, man, has been off the charts. It's been crazy. It's been nuts. You're still going. Now we gotta equip you to accelerate. How are you going to navigate through this mess? The mess. Y'all better listen to me carefully right now. You better take this advice. You and I, family, friends, I'm going to love on you through these very strong words right now. And I'm going to love on myself at the same time. The big wave of craziness has not even come close to hitting, but I believe it's going to hit heavy in 2021. Y'all got to buckle up. It's as if a massive earthquake has happened out in the ocean, way off the shore, and has triggered a tsunami, and hardly anybody sees it coming. Here it comes. A tsunami of craziness, and I'm telling you, there are going to be people, in my opinion, that are going to mentally and emotionally melt. I believe that the suicide rate is about to go through the roof because of the tsunami that's coming. I believe that we have an economic event coming that is greater than the Great Depression back in the 20s. I believe it's that big. I believe it's that massive. All signs, and everybody, all you gotta do is just make sense of it. If the world has primarily shut down and the economy around the world has primarily come to pretty much a crawl, and people are not able to make the money that they were typically making, and businesses are closing left and right, what do you think is going to happen eventually? You're talking about devastation. Now, who's going to survive it? Those that are the most mentally strong, who have the most confidence. Who's going to do it? So I'm telling y'all, get the book. Please do me a favor. Once you get the book, you're talking less than $20 for the book. 370 some pages. And they're simple and powerful. Every time you open up a page, you're going to go and read it. You're going to go, man. So you get the book. Now the book has a key. Now write this date down. Everybody write this date down. December 12th, 2020. What day does that fall on? Is that a Saturday? December 12th, 2020. I got my mind so focused on that date. I got it because I'm like, okay, this is where we change. We help to change the world. December 12th, 2020, Saturday. I'm going to do my first virtual training. Now, anybody that knows me, you look back over all these years of my career, 25 plus years in personal growth, confidence, and success training, 25 plus years. I put on some of the most powerful events over the past 25 years, Richter scale. Multiple events, high, unbelievable impact energy. Most people have been to my events. They come out changed at another level. Well, I'm adapting and overcoming, dealing with this pandemic globally. And we're going to be bringing world-class virtual training. Now, I want you to imagine what you feel it's going to be like with me setting this energy up. Now, I want you, December 12th, it's coming. And people say, well, what would you charge for something like that that's going to equip people mentally to get their confidence in line, to get them to be able to handle everything that's thrown at them, to have the mental tools and capacity to be able to do it? What do y'all think, man? I got comments coming in. December 12th. So I'm doing a training. Write this down. It's called Confidence Base Camp. Confidence Base Camp. You see that? Came up on your screen. Now if I were to personally consult you with this type of information, I would charge you $1,000 per hour. This is going to be a 4-hour training from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 hours. Now, I will be doing some trainings that are even longer than that, but right now, these 4 hours, I'm going to compact it, and this becomes the base of all the confidence trainings that I will do, called Base Camp. Let's put that up one more time. So Confidence Base Camp is coming December 12th. It's going to be virtual. We're going to use our powerhouse interactive virtual training platform to come right in your living room or wherever you're at. And from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you're talking about fire. Now, why do I call it Confidence Base Camp? Because I want you thinking of confidence like it's Mount Everest, because that's what it is. You know, getting to the top of the confidence game is like climbing Mount Everest. And you know it and I know it that hardly anybody you know has a good grip on confidence. They're getting frozen. They're getting avalanched. They're getting killed when it comes to confidence. Time to change it. We have to. So here's what I'm doing. That training is going to be $395. That's it. So instead of $4,000, it's $395 that I will charge for that training. But you want to know me and what I'm doing today in my entire being to give back to the people around the world that want to share the love together? If you simply do this one thing, get your key, we're going to waive that $395. And then we make that training free. All you got to do is get the book. You go over to Amazon, you get the book. After you've got the book, make sure you got a copy of your receipt. So get a copy of your receipt when you go over to I want y'all to listen to me. You go over to jnolandcoaching.net, you're going to see a tab called Events, which is going to list the Powerhouse Confidence Base Camp training. That would be $395. You click get your ticket, it's not even going to let you pay $395. It's going to say, guess what? Do you have your book? So if you spend $19.95 on the book, I'm going to give you a $4,000 training in my estimate that I would charge $395 because I'm getting it out to the masses. It's not me and you setting one-on-one. So $395, and we're going to just sit there and waive that free, but you got your book. And one thing I do ask, I ask that you get ready to become the best possible you can be. Now, base camp, if you think about people that climb Mount Everest, I want you to think about at the base of that mountain, they set up a camp. And you got to have your tools. You got to have your tent, proper sleeping bag, proper clothing, or you're going to be out of this life. If you don't have these things on, if you don't have these tools and this equipment, you're going to die. It's like a high percentage, if not a fact, you're going to die if you don't have the proper equipment to go up that mountain. And that's what you see happening to most people and probably happening to you when it comes to confidence. You're trying to go up a mountain and you don't have the right equipment. So I'm going to put all my energy, 4 hours, to making sure you are 1,000,000% equipped to go up that mountain. You got every tool that you need. You got the clothes, you got the tents, you got the water supplies, the food supplies, everything you need to go up that mountain and achieve ultimate confidence. You're going to get it at Confidence Base Camp. Get ready. Get your copy of the book. When you go over to get your ticket, it's going to ask you for your information, and you simply upload and prove that you got your book, and we're giving you a free training that you normally have to pay $395 for. And I'll be doing another training. And I'm telling you, it won't be you get in for a book. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a minimum $395 for that training when I do it again. So you got access to be able to shake up the world when it comes to being the best that you can be. We get a whole bunch of people doing that. Now spread the word about that. Tell everybody you know. You want to get a mental grip and be strong and be confident through these crazy and turbulent times. Do you want to be happier than you've ever been, even though everybody else is going through chaos and craziness? Get to Confidence Base Camp. Confidence Base Camp. What's my ticket? What's my key? Get the book. So now I'm giving you grab that tool. That's one of the tools you bring into camp. We're going to be talking about different quotes in that book, and I'm going to break them down as it relates. And then I'm bringing in all types of awesome stuff. I'm a certified life coach. Now an NLP practitioner. And we're going to be using some new tools, techniques, along with what I've learned over all these years to help you master all the basics when it comes to confidence. Has it been a great J Talk show? I just love this show. I've had a great time. I've loved spending this time with you. Thank you for allowing me to share my heart, spill my guts with you about my past, because I think it helps you relate to me. And I know that maybe we're going to get some of these things that's holding you back out of you so that you can share your story too. We're going to elevate. And with this whole process, I'm going to be creating coaches. How many of y'all would love to become one of my certified life coaches? Would y'all love that? How many of you would love to become one of my certified confidence life coaches? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having a career where you just go out and help change people's lives because you got the equipment, the tools, and you mastered these things? I'm so excited. Man, I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. Maybe even leave you with a little music if I can, you know. I like to leave you because everybody loves the jams that we're putting on. But I love y'all. I can't wait to see you next week on J Talks. Until then, go get the book on Amazon, 365 Quotes to Make You Better. Get your ticket to Confidence Base Camp, and we'll see you next week. Y'all have a great one. Mwah. Bye-bye.